Today, we're going to be tethering the hay. If you're new here, I'm Jacob. This is Echo Valley Homestead. And like I said, today we're going to be tethering hay. We're using the Massey Ferguson 255 on the tether. So this is a process that helps the hay dry it. We got 6 fields coming at you today. All right, so it's going to be a few hours of tethering here. I'm curious to see how much. So it's 10:53, basically 11 o'clock right now. We'll see what time it is when we're finished. The weather around here has been 90 to 100 degrees, so it is perfect drying weather. This hay is going to have no problem drying. It's going to be ready in time. So let's hop on the tether here, get things rolling, and show you what we're doing. Here's the outfit we're going to be running today. Here's the tether. Take a row into hay right here, one over there, so you can do 2 rows at once. And this is what it looks like before we tether it. It's these rows of hay right here. And then over here is what it looks like after. It's just a flat bed of hay. So you're gonna be able to see here, this thing really flicks it out there, really does some damage. So let's get started and let's see how it goes. Oh boy, the seat's wet. Shoot, should bring a towel. I don't know where this water would come from. Pop right off. I wanted to take a note here in between these fields and let you guys know that the reason we're tethering this hay is to dry it out. A lot of people nowadays will make green hay and it has like a higher feeding value to the cows, but you have to wrap it and keep it dry right after you make it. So green hay is like they mow it and they're able to bale it the next day. They just mow it, rake, bale the next day, and then they have to wrap it, and then it ferments, and then it that moisture can create a good feeding value for the cows. For dry hay, since we have beef cows, we don't really need that. Dry hay works just as good for our cows. So for that, you want it to dry as much as possible so you don't get any mold once you bale it. We mow it, let it rest a day, tether it, and next day we'll rake and bale it. I can't remember if I said this earlier in the video or not, but that's how we do it. In the tether, before we had a tether, there would be clumps and kind of some moldy sections in our hay bales. Now we have a tether, it's perfect almost every time. There's no mold. It's pretty well the best way we found to make completely dry hay. Just wanted to stick that in there of why we use a tether and why it's very important and beneficial to us. Field 2. Field 4. Just an update on time. It is 12:20 and we are starting the fourth field. We started at 11, so we've been going for about an hour and a half now. We're heading over to field 5. It's across the pond over That's here. Pretty neat. We were just up in there on this field. Now we're crossing the pond. We finished up on the last field across the pond over there, so now we got 5 fields done, and it's exactly 1 o'clock, so just over 2 hours, about 2 hours and 10 minutes it took to get behind the shed. Then the 2 fields just below that, so that's 3, the small one over here 4, the one behind the pond 5. So we got 1 more, but I'm gonna have to go through some narrower trails and driveways to get there, so I'm gonna put the arms up on the tedder. I'll show you how to do that, and then I'm also gonna refill my water bottle over here in the spring, so I'll show you that as well. You set the pin, then you come over here and pick it up. I like to listen for it, then I also like to double check that the pin went in. Yep. And the second one. Okay, then we also need to go up about 4 rounds, I think. Yep, just so it about centers out. That's also so the tines don't dig in the ground while we're driving. Did I mention it was hot today? Because it is. That's a bullfrog you hear there. Over here we have a spring that flows naturally out of the ground, just on up the hill. We capture it, and then the overflow from that runs down here into this always running water trough. And I'm gonna fill my bottle in. This thing is always running. It's the overflow from the water tank that at the spring on up the hill up here. Nice clean water. We have a separate video out. We captured a spring out by the road recently. Not sure if that's gonna come out before or just after this one. We're filming it kind of here in the days we're not making hay. We're digging a spring. We're also finishing up a bridge project and cleaning the silt pond out. Those are all separate videos that are either out while this one comes out or are coming out right after this one. So if those interest you as well, make sure you give those a watch, because those are some of my favorite projects that we've done so far. Especially the bridge. I will note that was quite a project. And it looks really good. We have not made the first pass over it quite yet with a mule or anything, but we got to fasten the top boards down yet, and that's getting pretty close too. So we're gonna go out there and finish our last field. I think Mom's coming out to video me, so hopefully we can get some better video off the tractor of the setup we got here. Cranking it back down now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can see those tines are pretty well in the hay again. And it's ready to run. You'll get some good video as soon as Mom gets out here. I think I hear the mule coming now, so shouldn't be too long. Well, that's a big step in the right direction. We got all the hay tethered, and now it's ready to rake and bale as soon as it dries a little bit more. This tractor worked very good. This is a Massey Ferguson 255, and I've told an interesting story on this one before. I won't go into too much detail now on it, but we had one just like this growing up. Well, my dad had it growing up for him, and we had it getting work done on it, and it burnt down in their shop fire where the mechanics are. And long story short, we ended up getting another one. They found us another one just like it, and so this one is in very similar condition as that one would have been. We were getting it restored. And so little story on this one and why that tractor means quite a bit to us. Might not have come from the same spot or be the same one we grew up, my dad grew up with, but it's still, it's the same thing. So we hadn't had one like that for several years, and then I got back on that thing and started driving it. That's like what I learned on one just like it. And from learning on that to a John Deere kind of spoils it, and then going back to that, it's like it's a little bit more of like a knack to drive those. And it's very cool to, quite a bit of nostalgia to get back on one of those and drive one of those. And I'm really glad we get to experience that tethering the hay, and I think we might also use it for raking. Either that or the Ferguson, I'm not sure on that yet. So now I'm a sticky hot mess. If you can tell, I'm completely soaked in sweat. I think I forgot my water on there. I'll get it later. So I'm gonna take a shower quick, get all this dirt off me. I'm walking by the garden here. I'll do a quick little garden update. This is the corn patch. It's growing very nicely, almost knee-high. 4th of July is coming up, so knee-high by the 4th of July. I don't know if it'll hit that or not for sure. Let's get up here close to it. Let's get a good measurement on it. This is my knee. So it's got about 2 inches yet. I'm gonna water it tonight. Have some hot weather, so maybe if I water it tonight again. I watered it the other night at about 11:30 at night, so the water had time to soak in overnight. So if I water it again like that tonight, the water can soak in. Maybe we'll get this stuff knee-high by the 4th of July after all. If you watched our garden video, we didn't plant it till about a week or two after Memorial Day. So usually we plant it on Memorial Day, then it's knee-high by July. This year we're about a week or two after. So if we can get it caught up from watering it, I'd be really tickled with that. Now here's our tomatoes. I need to pull some of these weeds around them, but you can see here, we're getting some good big green tomatoes on those. And this one has a few on it as well. We have 5 tomato plants here. Got some peppers on down here. And flowers are growing nice. The tea's looking nice. This is our zucchini plant. Now, if you remember, that plant was like really small when we first planted it. So it's looking great compared to where it started. Here's our squash. They look very healthy. Come on down here. So cucumber. Definitely need to get these weeds away from that one. Another small cucumber right there. And then these are something I'm really excited to see what they turn into in the fall. This is our row of pumpkins. We actually have 2 of them. So I'm really excited to see where those go this fall and how big they'll get, and how many pumpkins we're able to get out of them, because I'm thinking I need to weed them out a little bit. There's pretty close together, so I'm thinking I should kind of narrow them down a little bit. Anyways, that's a little garden update for you guys. I said I'd be bringing those out. Might make a full video on just the garden coming up soon, but figured I was walking by, I'd add that to the tethering video. Tethering, there wasn't a ton with the tether. I mean, it took me, I think it was about 1:30 when I was done. It's about 2 o'clock now. So I started at 10:53, finished at about 1:30. So just over 2.5 hours. We were estimating about 3. So that's pretty good. We made good on time. Fields flew by. Compared to mowing, mowing took us 6 hours. Tethering took us just under 2.5. Still got some good parts of the hay coming up. Baling is usually the best part, in my opinion. And raking is also very fun. We'll use our old roll bar rake that are kind of old-fashioned antiques now. They still work great for us. Anyways, I think I'm gonna wind this video down for now. We got raking and baling coming up, as well as finishing out the bridge project, capturing a spring video coming out, and in the near future, we're gonna be bringing out a food plot video where my attempt at making a 5-star food plot. So that'll be coming too. Stay tuned for that. We're bush hogging, spraying, planting new seeds, trying some new things out in that area we've reserved off from the cows for the nature. We got some great things coming out for you guys. Stay tuned. Go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you learned something new today, share it with one of your friends and maybe they will too. And we'll see you later. Thank you for watching.